This is Everything T, and today we're breaking down the first week of Sean Diddy Combs' federal trial, one of the biggest celebrity trials in music history. Diddy is facing serious charges: sex trafficking, racketeering, and transporting individuals across state lines for prostitution. If convicted, he could face life in prison. And this week, we heard from Cassie, escort Phillips Daniel, LAPD officer, and we heard from Don Richards. The government showed us what they found during that hotel raid. Everything we're about to cover was said in court, under oath. Let's walk through what the jury heard, and what the world can no longer ignore. This is your full breakdown of week 1 of the Diddy trial. And warning, the details are graphic, but they need to be heard. Cassie Ventura took the stand calmly and confidently for 4 full days. She described a decade of emotional, physical, and sexual abuse by Diddy, beginning in her early 20s. She said Diddy created a world where he controlled everything: her money, her movement, even her body. One of the most disturbing aspects of her testimony centered on what Diddy allegedly called freak-offs. Cassie testified, "He would give me ecstasy, sometimes without me knowing what I was taking, and make me have sex with male escorts while he watched. Sometimes he filmed it. Sometimes he just sat there. But it was never my choice." She explained that these freak-offs were not occasional. They were regular, orchestrated, and often involved hard drugs, paid sex workers, and cameras. It was like a ritual, she said. He'd set the lights, pick the men, and say, "Perform." Cassie also testified that she developed oral sores after these events. "I told him I had mouth sores. He laughed and said, 'That's what you get for being my bitch.'" She recalled one time when she didn't want to participate. "I told him no. He slapped me. Then he told me if I didn't do it, he'd ruin me. That he'd leak the tapes." She mentioned Kid Cudi and Michael B. Jordan by name. "When I texted Kid Cudi, Diddy threatened to blow up his car. A year later, it exploded. When I had dinner with Michael B. Jordan, he told me, 'He's trying to fuck you. You're embarrassing me.'" Then she described the 2016 hotel hallway beating, captured on surveillance. "He kicked me in the back, dragged me by the hoodie, called me a whore, and said I'd never leave. He took the hotel's copy of the footage and paid $50,000 to bury it." She looked straight at the jury and said, "I would give back every penny of that settlement to forget what he did to me." During cross-examination, she was calm but firm. When asked why she stayed, she said, "Because I believed if I left, I'd be dead." Daniel Phillips, a male escort, backed up Cassie's claims. He testified, "Mr. Combs hired me to have sex with Cassie. He gave me drugs, instructions, and cash. Sometimes I was flown in just for one night. It was a setup. He controlled every detail." Phillips added. After one of the encounters, Diddy wiped himself with a towel, then rubbed the fluids on his chest, on his nipples. "I was stunned." Cassie looked numb. He recalled hearing Diddy shout, "You better fuck her like you mean it," during one of the freak-offs. He said Cassie never consented, and often appeared sedated or frightened. "I told her one time, 'You can leave.' She looked at me and said, 'No, I can't.'" Singer Don Richards described a 2009 incident at Diddy's home. He got angry over eggs. He hit Cassie with a skillet and dragged her across the floor. "We all froze." She said Diddy then turned to them and said, "Where I come from, people who talk go missing." Don said this wasn't an isolated moment. "We saw bruises. We heard things. But we knew better than to say anything." The defense tried to block her testimony, claiming it wasn't disclosed earlier, but the judge allowed it as corroborating evidence. A former LAPD officer testified about the 2016 hotel assault. "We responded to a call from hotel security about a woman being attacked in a hallway," he said. Cassie was crying. She had bruises. Her hoodie was ripped. She told me her boyfriend beat her and smashed her phone. The officer testified. Diddy was hostile. He said, "You don't need to write anything down." Then he told me, "We can make this go away." When asked if that meant a bribe, the officer replied, "Yes." He offered money. I declined and filed my report, but that report vanished. A week later, I was told to stop asking questions. The hotel dropped the complaint. I was told it had been handled. He then made a stunning admission. I took a copy of the hallway video home and showed my wife. I've never seen anything like it. I had to share it with someone. Homeland Security agent Yassine Binda described the raids on Diddy's homes in 2024. He testified that agents found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lube, MDMA and ketamine. $9,000 in cash. Multiple hard drives labeled VIP. Cassie, private. Firearms, including unregistered rifles. Binda said, "This wasn't a bedroom. It was a controlled environment. There were lights, cameras, soundproofing, like a private film studio." Forensic teams confirmed many videos showed sex acts involving impaired women. Some files were encrypted. This was not casual entertainment. It was organized and archived. The first week of Sean Combs' trial wasn't about tabloids. It was about testimony. Under oath. On the record. Cassie, Daniel Phillips, Don Richard, an LAPD officer, a federal agent. Each painted a consistent picture of abuse, coercion, blackmail, and cover-up. Diddy's legal team denies all allegations. But as the trial continues, the jury and the world will hear even more. This is EverythingT. Drop a comment below and let us know what you think about this trial below. Like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell to stay with us as we continue covering every turn in this case.